this is a I don't want to say it's a concept, but this is kind of the direction that we're going. We wanted to make it measurable. Yeah, it would be great if we could have some number of our students over time would have a citizenship rate of, yeah, but at least on an initial level, is that we want to have graduates of the 6 modules, and we know that if we create a foundation for these residents, that it will give them the stair step to be able to move forward to citizenship.
But if I understood correctly, the program is supposed to be for people who just came into the country. Most of the time, in order for you to become a citizen, you have to become, or you have to be a resident here for many years before. So those people who are becoming a citizen don't need us anymore, or don't need this program anymore. I mean, you're targeting people who have just come. I mean, you're talking about very, very basic survival. What is a bank, schools, things like that when you just come to this country. Citizenship is not. I'm not sure if it's related.
Yeah, but well, I think what he's saying, if I misunderstand, correct me, but is that the program that we're targeting is for the folks that are initially coming to this country. But in time, we would hope that they would move towards citizenship. A number of our members here have said that they are now, Americans, and so I think that's
that would be great, but
yeah.
to measure success.
Yeah, I think this is what we want to start with, and maybe in time that we can get there.
I think measuring success is really on an individual basis.
Yeah.
And I think it's a lot more, a lot of little small successes for these people are what's really important.
Absolutely.
So, I think.
Yeah.
Let me just stand up here for a little. You can measure success in terms of the lowest basic needs, which is food, shelter, food, shelter, air, oxygen, these kinds of predictable environment. That if you could bring somebody from where they're at, out in the streets and labor camps, and to that level, that's an achievement.
Exactly.
Where they have basic needs being met, and then you have another met, higher needs, safety needs, and I mean it just goes up the ladder. We're starting at the bottom.
Right. That's how I see it. I mean, that's why when they talk about measuring success via citizenship, I don't think it really
That's too
makes
far down.
sense.
That's for the advanced students.
And at some point, we hope that they progress that. But for now, what we're saying is that if we can get 75% of the people that start this program to finish this program, we know that they'll have a good foundation. They'll have survival skills. The next, which Veronica was alluding to, is that we have to be careful about HESI not participating in trafficking, aiding and abetting, and supporting illegal activities. So it's really incumbent upon us as a group to be talking in terms of disadvantaged residents as a group and not undocumented workers, illegal immigrants, those kinds of things. Our speak has to be referencing disadvantaged residents because we don't want to be in crosshairs between INS, I guess it's now CBP. We want to design the program within the framework of the U.S. immigration law so that there aren't any issues with that, because that's key. And we also want to make sure that we're mitigating any legal repercussions to HESI and its membership. So, yeah, you're right. We have to make sure that we're very, very careful and that we are talking in terms, and I think Senor Ramirez said as an example, if we as any citizen of the U.S. were to knowingly give a undocumented worker a ride to their job, that's a violation of U.S. immigration laws. So those are the kinds of things. We're not going to ask people whether or not they're documented or not. That's not our job. What we're saying is that you're a resident of Humble, Atascocita, Porter, Huffman, and Kingwood, and you fall into a category where you need our help, we're going to help you.
But then again, I'm sorry, but if you are not a resident legally, you cannot really get those types of things. You can't even get a driver's license if you're not legal, right?
Yeah, you can.
No, that changed this year.
No.
That changed this year. You cannot get a driver's license without
So how
showing
can
your
you
status
help?
in the United States.
Well, but the course design will help us understand that, and that's a good point because I did not know that either. But those are the kinds of things that people need to know. I mean, it's information, and what they do with it is another thing, but we have to be able to explain it.
James, I want to bring this up so you'll understand, so you guys are very clear. What you're talking about right now is in violation of law. Okay? And I'll tell you why. Within this framework, you're talking about residents who live in the area. If they are residents, they have houses, they sign lease contracts, they're in violation of their status. Okay? In the United States, a person that comes as a visitor, either as a tourist or for business, cannot rent, cannot buy, cannot maintain property. So when you're saying you need to stay within that framework, you know, you're going, it's a gray area. Now, thank God the people that I used to work with, a lot of the old hands understand this gray area. But you have to be very, very careful with it because
Exactly.
what you're talking about is 90% of the people that are going to be approached or they're going to come to at least find out about this program are going to be people that are in violation of the immigration statute. So, and that's what you're looking at. Even if they're married to United States citizens and they entered unlawfully,
Right.
they cannot immigrate here.
Right.
The way the law is written today.
And that's exactly right. That's why we are speaking clearly about the fact that we are helping disadvantaged residents. Now, everybody understands what that really means, but the reality is that we have to be, we want to be able to help folks, okay? That's all we want to do. We want to have a humanitarian effort from this group to be able to help people. And if we create structure to a program that enables them to have a good foundation for the future, then they have a great success of moving into whatever other next status that they want in life, okay? So our job will be to provide information that is accurate information, not word of mouth, not hearsay, but accurate information by people who know what they're talking about. So things like driver's licenses will be information that they know, okay?
Then what you mean is that you should have professional teachers. And since we know that in this country, education is a disaster, and the evidence of that is provided by the fact that all of the presidents or people who are running for presidents, one of the first things that they want to improve in the country is the educational system. And the evidence is also that people who become civilized. Now, let's talk about the legal ones. They are supposed, in order to get the citizenship, to speak and write and understand perfectly the English language. Can you please tell me why, when there are those ceremonies of the attribution of the citizenship, that they have to translate in Spanish? Can you tell, or in Vietnamese, can you tell me why, when people go to vote, and they are citizens, they find instructions also in Spanish and in Vietnamese? I'm sorry.
Wait a minute, Roberto. The law also provides a provision if a person is over 50 years old and has 20 years of residence in this country, he can take the citizen exam in his own language. There is nothing in the Constitution of the United States that says English has to be the primary language. That was an issue that was voted upon by Congress, and to me, that was a big mistake. Okay? But the problem is, and again, I'm talking of years of working with people, when I was with Immigration Service, the joy that I had, my job was not a bad job, it had to be done. I was a deportation officer, but I also was cross-trained as a citizenship officer. Okay, I was cross-trained as a citizenship officer. The most cherished memories that I have is working with people becoming United States citizens. I have memories of, I had a man who had cancer. His nose was eaten away, but he wanted to become a citizen of the United States. He was so embarrassed to sit in my office because he had this gaping hole in the middle of his face. But this man, and this is why when I speak about immigrants, I'm very passionate because I've seen the sacrifice people make. This man, I asked him one question. I said, you know what the Constitution of the United States is? I had to stop him after 10 minutes. He was reciting the whole Constitution.
Yeah.
You know?
And I know that we have to be careful, as I said before, and we're gonna work. Maybe perhaps we'll work with you and create a legal committee. Okay, I like that idea. But for now, because it is important, as I said, it is important. Bullet point number 2 is design a program that was within the frames of the U.S. laws.